Hi there, I'm John from CNCKing.com, and today we make a CNC router template with inlays. This is for a customer who does a lot of woodworking, and they want us to do an inlay for them to use their manual router. So what you see here is the template, and what this does is, it's out of 1/4 inch MDF. So you lay it flat on the piece. There's double-sided tape here, so it's very easy to glue onto the finished piece. What you do with a trim router, you go around and you sort of shave off all the inside here. And that's very important because the next step after that is put in the Formica inlay. So the way this works is, let's say they made the hole, however deep they want to make it, and then this fits right in here like that. Now of course there's a lot of different colors involved with it. And what I want to show you as well is how much the laser actually removes. So here's the template here, and it's been laser cut out. And you can see it's very hard to work out, but it's maybe what, 1/32. So very little material is removed during the laser cutting process, at least on this material here. And it's the same thing with the Formica. Formica is a really good material because it's available in endless varieties, and we can also use our CNC router to form things with it. So why would we use a laser versus a router or any other kind of tooling we have here in the shop to cut the Formica? So I've also done this kind of work with a manual router using templates too. The major advantage of the laser is the very sharp inner corners. As you can see here, you don't see what the Formica looks like because there's several layers of masking above it. And the reason for that is because Formica actually burns under the laser. So by putting in masking, the masking burns, not the Formica burns. Although I am technically cutting through using burning on all the edges. So there is a bit of soot that's black on all the edges, but that's easily cleaned with a damp cloth. Now, when I use the router to do this kind of work, I don't have that issue. But I have an opposite issue in that because now I'm pushing and pulling through the material, now the material wants to move on me. So I have a vacuum system, I have screws, I have lots of different ways of holding down Formica. And the major advantage of the router over the laser is if I have really thick Formica, this is I think 1/16 or 1/32, so it's not really thick, but for composite materials that I work with Formica, let's say you have a 1/2 inch MDF, then Formica on top, and you got to cut all that stuff out. I could technically do it with the laser, but the router does a far nicer job of it, and I don't get all the burning issues that I get with the laser. Now you might be wondering, why would I use Formica instead of using, let's say, just MDF or paint or a whole bunch of other ways of doing basically the same thing? The major advantage of Formica is its countertop material, which means that the surface here is very, very easy to clean. And this is actually going on something that would be like a countertop. So it's very easy to clean. It's very, very durable. Whenever I make custom furniture for my use here in the shop, this is actually what I use on the surface of it because it lasts forever. It's very easy to work with as well. All you do is put glue for the Formica inlays and you lay them out. Now if you want to see what the finished piece looks like, you can see it over here. And this is actually a photograph I took. So while I was cutting these things out, I was laying them out in the template and making sure I wasn't missing any pieces, just to make sure everything fit properly, and of course it did. When it comes to laser cutting Formica, it's an incredibly hard material to cut through. It's surprising. It's almost like trying to cut through stone, except the stone is 1/32 or 1/16 inch thick. So technically you can still cut through it, but it takes a lot of power to do it. Again, that's why you see the masking and the burning, because I'm using so much power to get through this stuff. Now Formica also doesn't like to lay totally flat, because when they ship it out, it's always rolled up in a cardboard container. Now that's nice for protecting it, but it kind of sucks when you got to have something flat with the router or the laser to cut it out properly. So with this machine here, it's 140 watts, and I'm cutting through all the Formica. Of course the video is sped up because you don't want to wait and see what happens in real time for this kind of work. With the router, I don't have that issue. Again, it's a different issue with the bits. And what you end up with, if you have a bit that's not sharp, you end up with chipping all along the edges. So it's a material that you really have to spend time to learn how to properly cut, regardless of the machine you're using to cut it with. Now at my shop, I've been working with Formica for many, many years. We use it for, again, surface materials. We use it for custom ornaments for Christmas and that kind of stuff. We also use it for sandwiching different kind of boards together, or even for shipping. Again, it's a very durable material, and sometimes I use it, I have a little bit of extra in the shop. I make a shipping crate out of it, and I ship it out, and nothing ever gets damaged because it's incredibly durable. So if you're looking for custom Formica or inlays or templates or any of that kind of stuff, we can make them here for you in the shop and ship them right to your door.